Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to the Road to the Record weekly review special for week 19 of the Gaming Decathlon competition. This week, I brought in 5,016 points, back up over that halfway mark towards 10,000. Up only a little bit, though, from last week's 4,995. Best round, current virtual best, and all-time virtual best are all unchanged. Also, this is going to be a very quick review episode today for a couple reasons. One, it's super late in the day compared to what I normally do. Two, this is also going to be the last of these regular weekly review specials as we know them. I'm going to be switching it up. I have been out of town for a few days, just getting back into town literally minutes ago, and then I gotta head out again for a soccer game in about an hour. I've got more recordings to do, I've got things going on, but I'm finally going to be getting caught up on a lot of stuff. And one thing that I've managed to do while I was out of town was I went ahead and worked on finally getting a Twitter account for the channel. I have not posted anything on in a personal sense on Twitter in about 8 years. Not my thing, but it's coming back. I'm doing it for the channel, and I'm going to start doing my weekly review specials on Twitter instead of through these review specials. So in the future, you'll need to join up, and it's at Decathlon Gamer, so easy to find. Let's go ahead and break down the games individually. PCM 20 in the career mode, 309 points, up a bit from last week, but not a huge change in the middle of a grand tour, and you only get so many points while that's going on. Champion Series, right now it should be at 1,500 almost. It's 1460 something, so nearly at what would be 1,500 if we were still counting. That's how much that score has just blown up. We are just about hitting the end of that season, so that score is not going to go up a whole lot more from where it is now, but it's insane. We have just blown away the competition in that one. In the women's tour, 248 points, also just a small increase from where we were. We were already partway into the Benelux tour a week ago, and then we finished the rest of the Benelux tour. Those were actually the only two with a score increase, because Zwift, no time. I had a really, really bad week for Zwift. So my first two rides of the week was at total exhaustion, just pure, massive, insane amounts of exhaustion, and didn't really have much time to get on the bike and ride anyway. So I only rode 10 to 15 minutes in each of those two and struggled. I mean, I just, my body was crying the whole way. Definitely needed some rest. And then I ended up missing the third ride of the week, and that was because of the heading out of town, and only had enough time to quickly squeeze in something, and it was the women's tour one, because I did not need to be totally on the verge of death when I was about to drive 3 hours to get to the coast. So FM21 Perfect Manager did have one episode and just got into the first match of the season, and we've been unable to sign any players. Well, okay, technically a couple bench players, but we've been unable to sign any new players to the squad, even though we're now in the 8th tier. So we've moved up, and we essentially have the same players that we had down in the 10th tier. So it's going to get really, really complicated, really hard in trying to do something to continue on for here, because we're now relegation favorites unless I can do something to improve the squad. Like I said, we have a 10th tier squad. It was good for 10th tier, and it was fine for 9th tier, but it's definitely not good enough for 8th tier. So here's to hoping that we'll be able to delve into the transfer market and start bringing in some players that are a little bit better than what we have now. We definitely need some first 11 players for sure. That is going to do it for this review special. There was absolutely no change in the all-time virtual best, as none of the games improved that score. We just had this week to last week. Only 2 games even improved their score. But again, Zwift went nowhere. Champions is maxed out, and the Perfect Manager, we're just getting one match into the new season, so that score is going to actually wipe out next week and be even lower, so it's going to be hard to overcome that. But things should start getting back to normal. We've been doing the Farm Manager one, and that's not going to turn into a full series, so it's just a little mini series, and that's why it's not on the scoreboard. And yeah, that's it. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful week, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.